close. There's a bridge up ahead.
Is that where your friends are waiting for us?
I didn't know I had any friends.
Oh, but they've had you, haven't they? Since you betrayed Nightfall and left us to die.
We don't have time for this shit.
Your frozen friends have waited 300 million years. They'll keep another few minutes.
I know what you want, and I can give you your Medusa's head.
You read my mind. Why should I go down there guns blazing when I can take off your head and carve out what I need right here?
You have no idea what's about to happen, do you?
Go on, love. Enlighten me.
How is it going, guys? Sleepy Jim here. Welcome back to part 2 of my complete walkthrough of the new Call of Duty Ghosts Extinction map, Awakening. So we are moving into the second major section of this map, and this area is fairly similar to the first in that there's a lot of these obelisks that you have to scan, and there's similar sort of threats that you face in this area as well. But you're going to have some opportunities to find some new schematics. So at this point in the game, for example, we haven't found the Venom schematic, which spawns randomly like all the schematics, so we got a bit unlucky with not finding it in the first section. So we're hopefully going to find that in this second area. There's also another opportunity to find an arc for those that haven't already got it. So I got it in the first area, but the other team member who can actually use it as an attachment, I believe, picks it up in this area at some point. But the other two guys, as I said before, in this particular playthrough are using pistol-only relics, so they don't need, or they can't use the arc attachment. They were mainly running with the grenade turrets. So yeah, our next challenge here is to stay in the circle. Unfortunately, this was a bit of a tough one. The circle's down below here. Sometimes these circles will spawn in sort of weird places that can be hard to find. But I can't remember if we actually got this challenge or not. We'll have to watch and find out here. It looks like we probably will get it, actually, especially with all the turrets and stuff down here. So another skill point is always good. We have the gargoyle coming at us. The gargoyles don't actually do too much melee damage, but we have this rhino here as well. So I'm doing the old distraction thing. We've got a phantom as well, so it's all happening down here. It's pretty intense. I'm losing a fair bit of health here, even with this shield. So I'm getting into a little bit of trouble here. Gonna need some armor at some point, hopefully. But looks like we're gonna survive here and get this challenge done. The drill is about 3/4 away there, so still got a few aliens left to kill to get this challenge. I really need to pick up that armor vest right there. Trouble with this map sometimes is there's too many things to click on, you know, in the same area that can before I've when I've been trying to pick up armor or ammo or whatever that people have dropped or whatever it might be, sometimes you click on a weapon and accidentally buy it, which is annoying. But there is a new teeth purchase that you can get, which allows you to transfer the attachments as long as they're valid to new weapons that you buy, which is a really cool one to get. And at this point, 3 of us are down, so it's all up to one guy to clutch this. There was a couple of moments like this in the game. 2 or 3 clutches, actually. You'll see one from me later on in the game. But here we go. Viper Cole, like a boss, manages to revive us. And we're able to move on to the next obelisk. So once again, guys, just like in the first area, it's very important that you you work as a team to go around to the different areas where the schematics or the arcs can spawn in, because you will get the rhinos and the mammoths spawning at those areas as soon as you enter them. So you want to, be prepared as a team to go to each of those areas together, ready to take out the rhinos as a team is going to be the easiest way to do it. So moving on to the next obelisk here. So the first two major sections of the map, the one we saw in the last video and this one, have quite a lot of these obelisks to destroy. The third section only has 2, I believe, to destroy. They take a little bit longer, and then you've got the final section that you have to do that you guys will see later. I won't spoil that for those of you that haven't seen it yet. Okay, we got to kill 5 bombers before they explode. So the bombers are like replacing the seekers in this map. There's no seekers, thankfully, but you have these flying bomber aliens. And I'm assuming that if you have the teeth unlock, which allows you to take less damage from seekers, that it works for bombers as well, but I'm not really 100% sure on that. And getting pounded by that rhino until we manage to hypno knife it, which is good. That hypno knife a rhino is really, really valuable if you can get the 50 teeth for that. I don't play enough Extinction to actually get, you know, the hundreds of teeth that some people have, but eventually I'll get there. That's probably one that I want to save up for because it's so useful. Unfortunately, guys, it doesn't seem like you can hypno knife the gargoyle cryptids in this, even with that. So here we finally get the venom schematic here and the venom grenades schematic. So I'm going to go and try and build this venom, but I'll need to find those little red toolbox looking things to be able to get the 3 components for that. But we've still got 4 bombers to kill here, and the drill's nearly done, so I'm not sure if we're going to get this challenge. But like all the maps, really, you want to take out the scorpions ASAP, because they do cause a lot of problems if you just let them run around and spray their goop everywhere. But this Amelie, this weapon is actually really, really beast, especially obviously with the arc attachment. You know, you can take out stuff like the hunters and some of those tougher cryptids with 1 magazine, so you don't have to reload like with some of the other SMGs or assault rifles that you might get. Usually I like to run a weapon that I can reload quickly, but in this map I found this pretty good, especially if you're taking down the stuff like the flying stuff like the gargoyles. Okay, so just reviving a couple more people here, and we should be good to move on to the next area. At this point, I believe I'm starting to look around for the parts that I need for the venom, to build the venom. And I think we called that out, that hey, hang on, let's wait on this because we want to get some parts together for the schematics. So I got 1 part right there. And I need to find the other 2 parts as well. I haven't got any equipment either, so probably a good idea to search some of the little ammo boxes to get that stuff. They take a lot of damage, those things, but they're much easier to deal with when they're on the ground crawling around like that. I'm getting shot by 1 right there as well. So yeah, here's another locker key. I don't really need it, but cool, I guess. Okay, so one of the other guys got the Venom X, which is good. I think that's the guy with the specialist class. So I decided at this point to go back to the first area where I know I can find some of those intel boxes that I need to make the venom. Now while I'm going back here to search this area, guys, I'm going to cut this out and play you the next intel clip here.
The last thing I remember is burning pain as my lungs filled with gas, shattering glass, rain on my face, and this shrieking. When I woke up, I was inside the Ark, and I could feel them watching me from the inside. I felt the ancestors staring into my mind, so I stared back, and I saw the end of the world. They've always been here, watching, waiting. They're everywhere, right beneath our feet. They used others like me as their eyes and ears on the surface. They're about to broadcast a signal to awaken every Ark on the planet. They're gonna kill us all. Unless we kill them first.
Okay, so I ended up getting enough. I think I need one more box, actually, by the looks of it, to create the venom. So I'm going to come back here to this second area and see if I can find that. Team we're calling out, there were some in this area here. Somewhere, I couldn't find them, but I'll get there eventually. And we're going to plant the drill here in this location, down here in this tunnel. There's some good cover down there from the gargoyles, but you do tend to get rushed by a lot of the other stuff that comes through that tunnel. I'm just looking around here, trying to find that last box that I need. So I'll set up a turret back there to try and take out some of the gargoyles that'll fly through this open area of the cavern. I'm getting shot up by a gargoyle there as well. So Challenger is one of the easier ones here to not let the scanner health go below 50. So obviously one of our engineers has planted it, and we got the extra health on the drill, which is always good. This should be a fairly easy one, especially with these guys having planted the IMSs down here. As I said before, these IMSs are actually really valuable, especially when you rank them up with skill points. I noticed there's 2 extra teeth purchases you can get, which are associated with the IMS, so I guess that says a lot for how valuable these things are, even though they're an early unlock as well, right when you start playing Extinction. So it's worth considering running with, at least 1 or 2 people with these things when you're playing Extinction. I know a lot of people prefer the turrets. I'm using the turrets because they've got the upgrade, so they last longer. They're good for some things. Lately, a lot of people have been running with the Vulture. I don't particularly like the Vulture too much. I don't think it lasts long enough, and you can't have 2 of them like with the turret if you upgrade it fully. We have got a Rhino back here, so I'll whip out the right shield again. But you can see just how much damage those turrets do to the Rhinos. The other good thing about the turrets that I like is the turrets serve as a distraction, like a decoy. You can plonk them down, and most of the cryptids will, or the bigger cryptids will try and attack the turret. So it'll distract the Rhino nicely and also do him a ton of damage, for example. But I like plonking them down as well, like in the maps, like the first map and this one, where you have to, run at the end back to the extraction point. So you can just plonk them down behind you and keep running, and they'll distract all the big stuff. Keep it off your back a little bit. It's got a gargoyle back here. But we can move on to the next obelisk at this point. And I probably need to throw down some ammo here in a second for everyone. Those that use it anyway. So yeah, nearly just got one more level to go with the engineer class. Okay, now this challenge, kill 25 aliens while prone. Unfortunately, it was just way too hectic. We didn't manage to get this one done, but we end up having enough skill points, as I said, in the first episode of this series, so it didn't really come back to haunt us too much, missing out on some of these challenges. But it's obviously good to get them if you can. Yeah, it's weird, like, even though you don't have the venom, if someone else has it, you still can see those venom ammo drops. It's a little bit weird. But I've got to say, Extinction mode definitely shows promise. I look at it kind of like the prototype for what's possibly to come from Infinity Ward for this Horde mode of gameplay that they put in. Like, if you think back to the last Infinity Ward game before this one, where they had that, what was that called, Spec Ops, like survival mode, that was, it was sort of okay, but then like, if you played it a little bit, I personally found it, I lost interest in it very, very quickly. It really wasn't very good at all, but this Extinction mode is pretty fun, actually, especially with all the stuff they're adding to it. We get down here. So, 3 of us go down, but once again, like a boss, we get clutched. This time it was Dread's turn to revive everyone. So yeah, it starts getting pretty hectic here, even though the drill's finished. We got all these rhinos coming. 3 of us down again here. They could have gone pear-shaped very, very badly at this point if we didn't have that one guy clutching it for the team. This time it's Zeno. I think we all had clutches. All 4 of us had to clutch it at different points in this game, which is pretty epic. So now I have to clutch it, but there's no cryptids, so it's all good. Alright, we finally get to move off that area. So end up getting a lot of points from the turrets and everything. Being the engineer is always good as well for that. So we're going to move up to the next obelisk up top here. I think this might be the last one for this second area. And then we'll have to use that flying dude out again to take out the obelisk that we've scanned. So eventually I'm going to start ranking up my armor again as well, so that I'll be able to chuck that out towards the end. So this time we got to find and kill the leper. Okay, I finally get the last part for the Venom, and I don't know if it's called the Venom X anymore, but it's just called the Venom in this map. And I get the fire one, which is pretty beast. So that'll be really handy for taking down things like the Rhino and stuff like that. So unfortunately we didn't find the leper, and in a huge map like this it can be a little bit difficult unless you're really super familiar with the normal places that it can spawn in. I really don't like that challenge, that find the leper one. It is one of the ones that I fail a fair bit. Just trying to work out a good spot to put this turret. Now we've got a bunch of hunters coming back here. They love trying to chew on those turrets, those things. But this spot up here is pretty easy to defend because you've got the higher ground. Everything has to come up towards you. So at this point, we get a rhino spawning in, but you'll see this in a second. And he actually gets killed super fast. I go to switch to my venom, I don't even need to use it. Those turrets, man, where everyone concentrating their fire, he's pretty much dead in a matter of seconds, which is what you want. It helps having those IMS though. Okay, we got some dive bombers coming as well. There it is. That's the last obelisk. So we just have to open the gate to the third and final area here now. So yeah, when basically you have one of your team members using this thing to open the gate or destroy all the obelisks, you just want to protect it as much as you can from the flying cryptids. So that's where turrets can be helpful and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty much the same as the first year. It's not exactly rocket science. It's very easy to use that thing. Like I showed you guys in the first video in this series. We just got to defend it a little bit. If it does get taken out by the cryptids, it just cools down and you can use it again after a few seconds. It's really cool that they've put that sort of thing in there. I really like how they're innovating a little bit each time with the maps. There should be another Extinction map after this one. I really look forward to seeing what that one's going to be like. Whether they end the storyline or not, I suspect that they'll keep Extinction for the next Infinity Ward Call of Duty in 3 years or whenever that is. So, but it should give some sort of resolution to the main storyline, but leave it open for continuance. I reckon that's what they're going to do anyway. I just don't think their characters are as memorable as the zombies ones. Like the zombies one, there's a bit of a sense of humor to it. You know, it's a little bit quirky, but in this one, it's a little bit more serious, more of a serious storyline, like you get from Infinity Ward. Alright, so we're nearly done here, guys, and then we'll be moving on to the third and final area, where we have a couple more obelisks, and then we have the acquiring of the Cortex, which you guys will see that. Please remember to rate and comment on this video though. Appreciate you guys watching. And to end this video, I'll show you guys the next of the intel cutscenes, so you get a bit more of the background storyline for this map. Enjoy!
Godfather to Strike 1, do you copy?
What's on your mind, General?
What have you done with Cross?
Nothing yet. I'm considering various options.
If Cross knows what the ancestors are planning, she's more valuable alive than dead.
All due respect, sir, I'm not keen to get killed over a load of bollocks. I can be back on the surface in an hour with Cross's head in the icebox.
Negative. You will return Cross to the surface unharmed. That is an order.
Say again, General, you're breaking up.